a special treat tonight, I think. Not special treat. I shouldn't say that. Bobby, I didn't think was going to be able to make it, but it looks like he is. So that's good news. He should hopefully be here in a moment. And oh, there he is. I was going to say, I just went live. Thank God that, the Bobby's on here. I mean, I'm like, Bobby's going to pick tonight to leave me all by myself with basically no players. I mean, like, it's freaking ridiculous.
Not to mention, I'm getting destroyed. At least I got the love from the RG people today. They were pretty nice to me, but these guys are just going after me, man. So we got to focus on some basketball, though.
Yeah, yeah, because I mean, it's the same, dude. It's the same shit. You got to talk me off of playing 100% Bruce Brown again. You know what I mean? Like it.
Now, actually, tonight I actually feel a little bit. I mean, I need to get the bodies right and everything. I'm looking at everything, just getting back from the doctor. We're gonna figure this out as we go on this show a little bit. So, you want to start off with some DraftKings or FanDuel? Do you think?
Yeah. So FanDuel, I'm pretty good with FanDuel. I'm doing the same thing, and we can go over it. I'm doing the same thing as I did yesterday. I'm playing just like 9 lineups, and just kind of weaving with. The only thing I did, like I swapped in the same lineup I had earlier today. I swapped in Jordan for this is presumed Bledsoe even plays, right?
Right.
So I just swapped in Jordan for Brook Lopez and left myself. I have 1,600 left, and I just really can't think of anything I want to change. You want to know the truth? I could swap. And so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be kind of filtering through. Like maybe I'll play some Harris for Hield. Maybe you know what I mean. So I'm just going to go through these positions and make little pivots of the 9 lineups and just kind of make little like we did last time. It looks like really chalky right now. Mm-hmm. But by the time I just make a couple of things, I'll end up being like 4% owned lineup. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, no, it's I know it's crazy how that works.
Let's do the same thing. So like in this, just eyeballing this lineup for a second, like where would you think, like if you said, okay, this is a guy I want to get rid of, like who would be the first guy out of this that you'd get rid of?
James Johnson.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Good.
But I still don't think he's a bad play. I just
no. Do you don't? We speak the same language.
Yeah.
Right? That's fine. So what I do then is then I say, okay, where am I going to pivot? Is there any other good power forward?
Brandon Clark.
That I could like. So first of all, Isaiah Roby.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So there's Isaiah Roby for one. I could even with this amount left get up to Covington if I want to do that. You know who you could play? I could play Jeff Green.
Yeah.
But if I do that, I don't know if I want to play. Do I have to worry about playing those two in the same lineup? Probably not, right? There's like 7 people playing.
They only have. I mean, I'm looking at I'm just trying to get the pages down here. For some reason, my thing's having trouble loading. They've got. Yeah, they're gonna. Oh boy. Okay, so I guess I got to think FanDuel. I was on my DraftKings thing for a second. Let me jump over here because I feel very like I need to fix my everything on this slate.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just taking me a minute here to get my projections and everything. Okay, so let's do this.
The first thing I did, by the way, is I put Roby in my big one.
Right.
That's the first thing.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay. I like Roby. Actually like it sucks. I'm breaking up these lineups that I actually really like on FanDuel because of all this nonsense, but that's what you got to do on these days. DeAndre,
I can get up to Clark, by the way, in this build too. Excellent.
Ooh, okay. Let's go to DeAndre Jordan here. And all right, so I'll go through positions, guys. I'm scrambling a little bit. Go ahead and ask any direct QQs in there, and I'll get to those things when we can, or me and Cheats will. But right now, I'm just going to try real quickly to try and update some of these lineups. I think that maybe spending a little bit more for the Brandon Clark is what I'm going to end up doing on FanDuel at power forward. I do like the Roby thing, but I sort of have a lot of the Clark Randall power forward spots. My phone is blowing up right now. Okay. I just want to say one thing real quick. I got out of the dentist chair today, and they immediately, like, I had 117 messages from all this trades and all the stuff going on, but also like other people. Hey, do you hear what they're saying about you? I hadn't even read that one.
So I wasn't the only one. Okay.
Yeah. No. It was it definitely got around, but that's all right.
Shit. Okay.
Okay. So we're essentially locking in Durant, I assume, everywhere, right?
I think that's the case.
I think we don't have really much choice about it. The Bledsoe thing does worry me a little bit. If he doesn't go, I mean, well, Josh Hart's a great play anyway. I'm just going to take a quick look at my FanDuel point per position. See, let's go by position actually at FanDuel, if you don't mind, if we do that, because I'm a little bit. It'll help me get sorted if you don't mind.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so FanDuel point guard. I mean, for me, the best play is De'Aaron Fox. I also like LaMelo, and I like Elf Payton. I also like. I have some Lillard and Fox, but I think I'm going to play Fox in all my FanDuel lineups. How about you? Anything different that you've got here?
Yeah. So I like not really that different. I like Fox and Lillard together. I definitely like Fox and Lillard together.
Yeah.
And aside from that, it's nothing really different. Like I don't think you need to play guys like Chiozza on FanDuel.
On FanDuel, yeah.
I mean, you could, but
yeah, I don't think so either. So I guess we do have the natural pivot. If Bledsoe is out, we could on FanDuel. Sorry, I jumped over to the shooting guard. Sorry, my bad. But I guess that's the move. If we do play Bledsoe, we switch over to Halliburton.
That's interesting.
Sorry, I gotta grab something. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean that's the only thing we can really do, right? Leave 100 out there and make sure we get him in. Because if we're going to play him, that is. I don't think we need to play him either. Who are the other guys who you're finding in most of your shooting guard builds?
Like I said, I mean, I don't have any lineups. I like Bledsoe, and then I like the shooting guard. I think I like Hield, but I probably should get some Harris, right? I mean,
Hield. Yeah, I like
small forward. Sorry.
The only thing about Joe Harris is that. So, are we sure he's that much better of a play than Josh Hart is? If this opens up, I don't know.
No.
So that's the only thing I would say about him. Yeah, he's
got to be, isn't he?
Wait. I'm sorry. I was on shooting guard still. Sorry. Yeah.
I went back. Sorry. So you were saying Harris as opposed to better. What's the name? Okay. So I'll look at it. So on FanDuel again. I'm on FanDuel here. Let me just go back to it.
So
I got bad news for you. I think that what's his name is playable on FanDuel. Bruce Brown.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely playable. I also like getting pieces of this game because it's an up-paced matchup for the Knicks, and I think we can play Julius Randle pretty comfortably. Let's see. And Brown, like he's going to have to play minutes tonight, right? Like the only thing that worries me is that even in 28 minutes, it doesn't mean he has to do anything. So Bruce Brown versus Nickeil Alexander-Walker is an interesting discussion.
That's true.
I think what I'm probably going to try and do is get them in lineups together. That's just what I've got right now.
Is Nickeil Alexander-Walker a shooting guard or
shooting guard? Yeah, on FanDuel.
What's his price?
3,800.
Yeah, you kind of have to play that a little bit.
Yeah, I think you want some of it for sure. Let's see if I do this. I'm worried. What's going to end up happening, like initially, is my first thought is like, okay, I'm going to have to try and de-chalkify, but for right now, I want to build the best thing I can.
Right.
But it's going to be pretty chalky at first. Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I mean, because if we lose Bledsoe, yeah, there should just be.
Is that really possible? Is that really going to happen?
I think it is possible. I do, unfortunately, think it is. And I'm going to take a quick look at what that means for power. Okay, so, okay, want to talk about small forwards?
Yeah. So aside from Durant, right? There's Durant and Hart, which I suppose is the chalk build, right?
Right.
But then Harris is going to take ownership, and again, this is what we talked about. If you want to really stack up that Knick game, I mean, you could play freaking Barrett, no?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Why not? I mean, I do like Joe Harris, but I think that, the only problem with it is that that's not the only problem, is that I like the Harris Durant thing. So you're kind of losing a little bit of your stack by doing that, but that's okay. And you're going to get the RJ Barrett at much lower ownership. So I think that is interesting. Joe Harris, I think, is going to be higher owned. He's projected around between 20 and 25%. Most places. I actually think that he's probably going to be a little bit higher owned than that. People tend to react, and I don't want to say overreact, but they react strongly to this information, and I think that he's going to have some of that. I'm sort of running into the same thing where in certain builds I can't spend enough money unless I play a guy like Kristaps, which feels just like really like fishy to do this early. But at the same time, how many minutes are we going to see him play here? He's going to play. If he plays 26 minutes, he can still get there. But maybe I don't need to do that. DeAndre, Joe Harris. Okay, so that's an interesting thing. I sort of like that idea that you just mentioned, though. That I think that's a good way to go, is to maybe do the Barrett thing. Leaves you in a little bit of a better spot, because you don't need to spend that. You don't need to save all that money and spend up a power forward. But I do think you can leave money on the table on FanDuel tonight. I definitely think
that's like, I believe, like 1,600 on the table in my big buy-in right now.
Oh my God, that's a little more than I would probably go. But
what do you want me to do?
Okay,
hold on. I'll pull it up a second.
Yeah,
hold on. So I'm sorry, 1,700 on the table.
Why is
what do you want me to do?
I can't tell if Brett's trolling me, man, or if you're whatever. Of course I'm okay. What are you?
I have Lillard and Fox. I have Bledsoe. I have Hield. I have Durant, Hart, Roby, Randall, and Jordan. I don't know what I want to change.
I would rather play Brandon Clark over Roby.
You would?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that makes it easy, man.
And in terms of ownership, you're going to get – so you've got I actually don't think Roby's going to be that high owned. Clark actually might even be higher owned than him, but I do think Brandon Clark is a little bit safer. And just in terms of raw points, I expect him to.
Right. Okay. Well, that's something I could do. Okay.
So that I like a little bit. If I try, yeah. So power forward. Look, we mentioned them: Brandon Clark, Roby. I don't like. I don't know. I feel like there's James Johnson is fine, but I don't think you need to go there. I'd rather play Roby, I think.
Okay.
I also think Covington, as much as I hate it, is somewhat in play.
I agree with that.
Jeff Green, you could go to too, but I think I would take Jeff Green over James Johnson. KD likes to play with certain guys. He likes to play with Harris, and he likes to play with Jeff Green, it seems like. And I do think Jeff Green's going to get a boatload of minutes tonight. I know he doesn't always help us when he gets there, but I do think that he's in play. These Laker guys, I actually think that – so I have a pretty – I think LeBron is actually going to try and win the MVP this year. I really do. Even though their minutes aren't all as much, I think LeBron is if you want to do something different, you can play LeBron and KD at small forward. That makes a lot of sense. Actually, that's what I'm going to do here. But AD also is in play, and I don't think that they're going to sit. I don't think either of them are going to sit personally, but I still think that they're both firmly in play. LeBron is we just have an X value where we can do that. So if I play Barrett, what are your thoughts on TLC, by the way?
I was thinking about the Nets in general, and you want guys that are going to put up shots and going to be active, and that's why the Bruce Brown thing scares me a little bit. But he's going to do peripheral things, and he's got so many minutes that I don't think it's going to matter. Mm-hmm. But TLC is going to shoot the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's him and Harris, and TLC is half the price. Right?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think he will as well. But I'm only playing Bruce Brown with my stacks of that game. That's what I'm doing on FanDuel. And I'm still not quite getting to where I really want to be. So that's kind of frustrating. I'm looking at a small forward. Is there anybody else? Maybe a little. We can afford to overpay for some of these guys. We need the raw points. And Gordon Hayward is starting to pop up a little bit for me. Brandon Ingram is interesting because I don't I'm worried about that game staying close.
That makes sense.
But I like him. I mean, it should be a huge usage in this game. Boy, I really can't get this lineup built quite right. All right, I'm gonna take a look at chat and get some questions because I'm a little bit. Let's see, Derrick Rose ruled out.
We knew that.
We figured. Okay, let's see. Jeremy Grant at small forward. I think again, it feels like an overspend for sure, but I would prefer to play Gordon Hayward straight up probably over Jeremy Grant. Although he's, I know Grant's had the better numbers in the season, but I'd rather go to Ingram and Hayward personally than Grant. But I don't think Grant's a bad play. I just think that those guys I like a little bit better. And other questions are.
Who do you like more? Just like point for point. I was going to say Kyle Anderson or Joe Harris, but I have Clark in this lineup, so I'm going to put Joe Harris in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That makes sense. FanDuel power forward.
So what do? You just going to lock in DeAndre Jordan?
I'm going to play him in one of my big FanDuel lineups. I'm not going to play him in both. I don't think.
Okay.
I might. I'm still debating that second decision yet so far. Tell you what, like you could always just play Giannis. Even though it's not my favorite play, and I don't think that game stays close, but
yeah, but it's just the points, like
yeah, we just need the raw points. At some point, we really do. And 6.1.
Speaking of raw points, again, it's I keep going back to this guy and this type of build, right? So if you're going to play like a bunch of Nets, like for example, a bunch of Nets, a bunch of cheap Pelicans, whatever you do, and you're trying to just find like see raw point guys. I'm just afraid of not having like Cat if he goes off like really low owned and just has 60 points.
I get you.
Look, Luka, I'm not. I think Luka's like probably a lock. You know what I mean? I think because that game I'm not worried about. I know, like you said, he's out of shape or whatever, but
yeah, he's still awesome.
There's no blowout risk really, and the Giannis thing bothers me a little bit. The Laker game bothers me a little bit. So. I mean, maybe the Cat. I want to get Cat in. I really do actually.
Do it. I think that's a good idea.
Not too much, but something.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Like I got 100% DeAndre Jordan across both sites, right?
Right.
Maybe like one super duper contrarian, like swap Jordan for what's his name for Cat, and then just rebuild.
Yeah, that makes sense. Let's see. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm starting to get to these. I'll get to these questions in a minute.
You playing?
Right. I don't. Why did you say that, man? Like, I don't understand why he's coming after me.
I'm not even looking at the chat. What's going on now?
Killer B is like, I'd question Bobby's mental state after those rants. Whatever, dude. Just you have a good one, man. You don't need to come in here and troll me for no reason. That's kind of.
He's in here.
Yeah.
Hey, Brett, what's up? I didn't see you in here. Why is everybody so mean? I don't know.
It's whatever. All right. Apparently, CJ play CJ and Fox with Peyton at your other point. Yeah, I think you could do that. I think CJ is going to be lower owned, and I just don't want it. All right. Let's see. I can't believe someone else was just coming in here literally like just doing that. Like it's so lame.
Hey, you know who's back, by the way?
Yeah.
You know who's probable in playing again? The guy I've been waiting to play again is Obi Toppin.
I will.
He's not saying he's actually going to play.
Yeah. They said they expect him to play, but I don't know how much he's going to play. Jason, The reason I had an issue with Hoop is that he absolutely went off on me before for being liberal, basically, and that's why I don't like him very much, and he's gone off with me a million times as a person, and there's no need for it. And I've never gotten along with him. I was at one point friends with Big T, but that ended when I questioned him for saying to gas the people or whatever. I don't want to get into all this stuff, guys. I want to talk about some basketball, but I am sorry that that all this stuff happened. Who cares? It just ignore the RPS, the run RPS people. There's no reason. Is this a Julius Randle game, Kevin? Yes, this is a Julius Randle game. In my opinion, I think this is a great spot for Randle. So I love him in this. I love him here. Yeah, I know, Jason. He does seem like a nice enough guy there. It's just don't disagree with him politically, I guess, and then you'll be good. Doesn't let us any more basketball-related questions. Okay, so let's get back to basketball. So, okay, you want to talk some DraftKings sheets?
Yeah, I got DraftKings up right now. I'm as usual, when you have a slate like this, the DraftKings build is going to be it's going to feel a lot different than the FanDuel build, right? Because like all these value guys, there's going to be a lot of builds like last night, right? Where the people play like just a shit ton of nets, run it back play Durant, run it back with Randall and then throw in a couple of studs like Luka or Giannis. But I think Luka's going to be just insanely popular tonight because of this.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
I would imagine. I think but I don't know about insanely. I think it'll be like 30%, probably 25-30%, maybe.
Yeah. Let me just see. Where do I have him ranked? Yeah, I have him like average across the sites. I have him like 30%.
Mm-hmm.
And I have Luka at only 35. It's not Luka. Durant at only 35.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the back-to-back is holding it back a little bit. Let's get back down to it, right? So we still like Fox, right?
Yep.
So you kind of scared me a little bit with your not anti, but your kind of hesitance to play Lillard earlier.
No, I mean it's fine. It's just we can just game log watch and the usage isn't quite the same as it was for him. He's been awesome in real life. McCollum has been just great though, and there's mouths to feed there in Portland, and he just with his team fully there, and with Nurkic, if you look at his numbers last year, almost all the games he went off were without him until we got to some of the playoff stuff, the bubble stuff. But for the most part, I think he's a little. He's not quite as productive when all these guys are all healthy. I mean, not quite as productive. He's awesome. He's just not quite as good a fantasy player. I'm trying to look at some guys who I might have.
No, let's talk about this guy. So if they announce that Boban is starting, would you play him and how much?
On DraftKings, that's a good question. I think that I would have to play a good portion of him. I don't know exactly how much I'll end up with, but I definitely want a good portion of him.
Yeah.
Cat, Clark, Roby, Towns. Okay, there we go.
You playing any LeBron?
I do like LeBron. I think that's actually interesting to play both of them on FanDuel together. But I also just think on DraftKings there's just too many other good plays, where it's a little different on FanDuel, and not entirely, but a little bit different. That's where I find myself getting them. All right. Thanks, guys. I appreciate the kind words from you guys out there. You guys are awesome.
Hey, here's another guy, by the way, who don't sleep on him. And we talked about it earlier. But Bobby Portis is still a good play, regardless of the fact that all these other nets are good values.
I agree. I mean, that's a guy who, when he goes off, he goes all the way off. So I totally agree with that. It is hard to find another thing to do at center on FanDuel, by the way.
I know.
It really is. It also, I just wish there was something else. Like, I mean, you could go on the other side of that game and play Mitch Robinson. Doesn't feel great. It
doesn't feel right. The only thing again that I think might stop DeAndre from getting there would be like a good Jeff Green game.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
But I mean, so what are they playing the Knicks, right? So
shooting guard.
I don't know why
I am playing some McCollum on shooting guard on FanDuel, by the way.
Hell yeah!
Just because
you could tell your grandchildren you played him at $9,200 also.
Wait till he gets to be like 10K. I mean, can you imagine what if Lillard sits out a game? He's going to be like 11-5 or something.
No, when he sits out, he's going to be like 8K and like 100% on.
Yeah, that's right. All right, so that's a different build. So Randall is in half my lineups on FanDuel, just to give this final FanDuel stuff. Randall's in half my lineups. Brandon Clark's in half my lineups. Roby's in half my lineups. That's what I'm doing power forward. DeAndre Jordan is currently in all my lineups on FanDuel. I don't love it, but I don't love that I'm not getting different there. But KD, all my lineups on FanDuel. Then I'm mixing in RJ Barrett and Harris as my other small forwards. Hield, McCollum, Alexander Walker, and Brown are my shooting guards. I really don't like that I'm not using Josh Hart over there, and that's something I'd like to change, but I will get back to that in a minute. Then the point guards I have are Luka, Peyton, Lillard, and Fox. And okay, we don't know. Let's see the Boban thing.
I right now have 20% of Alexander Walker on DraftKings.
I don't see why Boban would start tonight. I don't see am I missing something with this, Sheets?
Missing what? I mean, they're going to announce something. I mean,
But why would they announce him starting, especially with Porzingis back and Cauley-Stein has been starting, and I don't think he hasn't started this season.
No, the only thing is that I don't know. Maybe I forget, but was Willie Cauley-Stein in the doghouse or something? He was going to be benched or something like that. I don't know. There was something.
I don't know.
A couple of games ago, I don't know. I've
heard speculation about it, but I don't know. I don't have that myself as being the case.
Yeah.
Well, Josh Hart. By the way, Redick is questionable too. But I was back to
I really just hope he doesn't play. I don't need that. Or do he plays? That doesn't matter.
Yeah. Just to not add anything else. I get you. So Fox, Lillard. Yeah, Lillard does make some sense, but I don't. Sort of struggling with these who I really want to spend up for, other than Durant on DraftKings, and I sort of have like you have a little bit of love for the what's it called, the help me out, for some reason I can't think of it. Karl Anthony Towns. I think that's actually a really interesting way to go, and it's not hard to do.
It's just hard to stomach, but it's
yeah.
It
is. Okay, we do have Roby as power forward eligible, which is good. I will answer some questions. If there's anything in chat, guys, go ahead, throw it out there. Sheets, if you see anything, please let me know.
Yeah, this small forward position is a travesty, isn't it?
On where? I like Josh Hart.
You like Hart on.
I like Hart. I like him. You're looking. Think about it.
That's expensive, isn't it?
Double doubles are basically okay. So this is without Lonzo, and potentially we might even lose one or two of the Bledsoe and Redick, and this guy
Ingram's like a lock. It's about a small forward.
Yeah. So basically with Hart though, he's averaging this year. What is he averaging? 8 rebounds a game, 8.5 rebounds a game. He's gonna. I mean, look, he it should be a double spot, especially without Zion there. You'd expect him to get even more rebounds. I just think Josh Hart's a really good play on both sides. Even if we hear those other guys are in, I still really like Josh Hart. So I want to make that pretty clear. Real quick in chat, let's see. Kanter times 2. If Nurkic is out, Kanter seems like a lock. Well, the problem with that is that we have so much other value. So I don't know if we can call Kanter a lock. But I also, they could definitely, they don't need to go super big in that game. But I do agree Kanter would be a good play. Top spends on DK Carmen. I'm going to get to that. Right now, I've got it as KD. KD and Fox are the ones who I like the most. I know Fox is not an all the way spend up, but that's who I like the most. And I'm sort of leaning Randall. I want to get some a little correlation. I actually think Randall, and if I can also get Randall and Towns, you can. That's an interesting way to go. Hard to do if you play Josh Hart, but it feels weird. It feels wrong to play Randall at almost the same price as Towns, but I still like him a lot.
Right.
Let's see. And for the Knicks, I wish I could find a little more run back over here, but I don't have anybody that I feel that great about other than Randall on DraftKings. Let's see. DeAndre Jordan obviously makes sense.
You know who's really cheap?
Who's that?
Bismack Biyombo.
He is, but he hasn't been. His run has been a little cut down. playing against a team with, it's not like they need to use him like crazy there. They can play one of their smaller lineups. They can play PJ Washington at the 5. I do have PJ Washington in one of my big lineups on FanDuel, by the way.
Really?
He just fit in. Like I didn't want to play Brandon Clark over him, and that was what I was deciding between, basically. I liked him a little bit better than the other guys. Blake Griffin also was in consideration for that too, but I don't trust that game. Let's see, Alexander Walker. Yeah, Karl Anthony Towns. Okay, so
if I put a lineup in with Cantor and Nurkic plays, am I going to remember to change it? That's the question.
That is a good question.
Actually, this is the wrong one to do it because was that LAC, right? LAC is a late game, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, so Brown, who failed us in this spot without Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
I kind of like the Jeff Green thing. I can definitely get.
Do we have starters?
So far, the only starters that I've got is the Hornets.
Okay.
It's the guys you'd expect: Graham, Rozier, Hayward, Washington, Biyombo. Okay. Wow. Playing all these Nets, huh? Jeff Green, you don't need it. Like, there's other value out there, but he is interesting. Keil Alexander Walker and Hart are both fine. I'm okay with that.
By the way, same thing that Bobby mentioned to me last time. This situation, well, not same situation, but if you are going to play guys like Chiozza, make sure you don't play him in the same lineup with Bruce Brown.
Right? Yeah, that would be a good idea, I think. Although they do have less bodies tonight. It's the one thing going for them.
Yeah.
Ugh. Am I really going to play with one net on DraftKings like that in my big lineup?
Well, how about this? How about the good news? By the way, I think this is good news. Is that my Pacers at 26-1 picked up Karis LeVert.
Pacers that's huge, by the way.
Yeah, but great. But now the Nets have like the NBA All-Star team on their team.
I know, it's pretty nuts. We'll talk.
Yeah,
about
but I don't know. I think Kyrie might be done.
You think he's done?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting. It is hard to know what the hell's going on with him.
They might have reached out to Kyrie. That dude, we're gonna have to get hard if you're not coming back. They're fine. Go get him. What kind of team is that? What kind of DFS team is that going to be when all three of them are unplayable at 9K?
You know what though? They'll be playable. Like they're just going to.
You won't be able to make any of them cheaper, right? And you can't make any of them more expensive, and you can't play any of them,
right?
Unless somebody's out.
I hear you. Bud. I think Cantor is the other center that we use, and you hope that what's his name is out. But that just feels like, without knowing, it feels wrong a little bit.
Were you doing DFS when they had Bosh, LeBron, and Wade?
I don't know if there was much DFS going on back then.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that was like 2012, right? I was wondering what those prices might have been and stuff.
Oh, I know. That would have been interesting. I mean, I'm sure there's somebody out there there might have been something out there. I just don't know if it would have been easy to like relate to today's game.
Right.
If I go, I literally just need Towns to be like 200 cheaper on FanDuel, and I'd be in good shape. Happy.
Oh, you could create a FanDuel lineup with him, huh?
Yeah. Both AD and LeBron are in. Okay. So one guy who's going to be completely overlooked that actually does make some sense is Joe Val.
He's going to be like less than 1%, right?
Yep. I actually think he's kind of interesting. I don't know if I'm going to end up doing it, but I do think he's kind of interesting. And again, what's wrong with playing a little Mitch Robinson here? I still think there's upside there for that guy. Shoot, I can't get the last part of my build. Maybe the truth is I just need to leave some money on the table. I think that's what I'm going to do because I think I prefer Josh Hart. I think over. It's close over Joe Harris on FanDuel, but it's speculative a little bit on Bledsoe being out. All right, jumping back into the questions. What about Giles if Nurkic sits? It's interesting. I don't think you need to go there on this slate, but that's interesting. How do I feel about Ingram on DK? I actually worry about that game a lot, but I do think that he's obviously in play and he's a strong play. He's going to have ownership. Let's see where I've got him right now. Okay. Yeah, we don't have any projected ownership on that one. Okay. Sheets, do you have any projected ownership on Ingram?
Yeah.
What do you
on
got?
which site?
DraftKings. About 25% maybe.
Hang on. Let me get back to it. Like 23.
Mm-hmm. That makes some sense. All right, so that's what I'm going to do over here.
Wow, this is pretty psycho. So you want to line up with Cat in it? So this one has Cat with, of course, running it back with Brandon Clark and DeAnthony Melton. Like what else? And then it has Durant and Hart and this hopes that
Eric Bledsoe's out.
And there it is. Okay.
So now it's a little less like Josh Hart is going to be more popular than he was before. Yeah, I think he's the better play. And
I think that Nick Alexander Walker might kind of be a lock.
He's going to be tough to fade. Because he should get the blowout run too. And Josh Hart will get part of it if there is a blowout. So it's worth thinking about. Looking real quickly here. I mean, I'm literally looking at leaving a ton on the table at certain times.
Yeah, I got 1,700 on the table now, right, in FanDuel.
Oh boy.
Let's do this first. Let's just get Bledsoe out so I don't.
Okay, we've got. I cannot figure out what's been going on with Dylan Brooks's minutes. Why aren't they in the mid-30s like they should be, or like you'd expect them to be? I can't quite. I know they're playing Melton, but I guess they're playing Bane more. But I don't expect them to. I feel like at some point you got to play these guys a few more minutes. Luka. It feels weird to have a lock button on Fox tonight, which is basically where I'm sort of ending up. But I feel like he just feels so good, and he's not going to be as high owned as he probably should be. Alexander Walker, Josh Hart. It does make so Alexander Walker I would put significantly ahead of Bruce Brown. In case that question comes up, because I think it might. Would you agree with that, Sheets?
Say that again.
I would have what's his name ahead of Bruce Brown, Nickeil Alexander Walker.
I'm with you on that actually.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can't go around with this. So we do this manually. That would actually be really nice. I'll tell you, what's his name is even. I mean, Ingram is a really, really good play.
Yeah.
Bledsoe out. All right, fine, fair enough. And then let's make him
smoked though.
What's that?
He might get smoked.
Who?
New Orleans.
Yeah, perhaps.
I don't like these are late in the day. Look, if they traveled all the way to LA, shouldn't we know earlier? I just never understand this exactly about the NBA. It doesn't make sense to me. Why do you mean? Why don't we know this? Why don't we know that Bledsoe was out for sure to start the day or something like that? You know what I mean?
And what's weird is that his injury was last week.
I know, it was his eye, and he already played since then. So it's
and I have this, and it's weird because I have this weird memory of this being something with him before. It was something with an I. I don't know.
Yeah. That says out. Yeah. Hey, Carmen, thanks for the kind words, man. Are any Clippers worth run back or just don't bother? So like you could make that argument, but you could play like 3 or 4 of the Pelicans, but it's weird to not have Ingram in my lineups right now, and I think I might have to make that change.
Yeah.
It's just I have 0 lineups with him in it at the moment, and that doesn't feel right.
With Ingram?
Yeah.
Oh no, you can't do that. I don't think.
No,
Who they're playing? It doesn't matter.
They're playing the Clippers, but it's
he's gonna shoot 30 times, right? I mean, like,
yeah. Also, back in his home, in LA where we drafted him here.
Oh, I forgot about where did he go to college?
Ingram?
Duke, North Carolina?
He was Duke.
Duke, okay.
Right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was Duke.
I can't believe Kyrie Irving went to Duke.
To have Bruce Brown in a significant, we got some more updates. Wellington Grant.
Who? Wellington? Who's that?
Not Wellington. Ellington. Sorry.
Oh.
I was just reading the Pistons lineup. It's what we think.
So is Saddiq Bey's not starting?
No, Saddiq Bey's not starting. Because it's Wright, Ellington, Grant, Griffin, and Plumlee. The Mavericks are Doncic, Burke, Cauley Stein, Porzingis, and Wundu.
Okay, so no Boban.
Yeah, I never heard of the Boban.
No, but okay, that's fine. So I don't have to play him.
Yeah. Okay. Do we need to do this? I mean, so okay, on DraftKings, I wonder, Sheets, are you fading? What are you doing with DeAndre Jordan on DK? Not that you.
Well, I'm recrunching some stuff with Bledsoe out. Can end up with 100% of them, unfortunately, which is really annoying. I mean, it's not that annoying. It's fine.
He's just a much better player than these other guys. Yeah. Boy, I too many power forwards here. Ingram, even the small forward, power forward, doesn't help me because I love Josh Hart so much. Maybe that's the key, is to get Ingram. Let's just see all the bodies that are in Portland tonight. I'm sorry, that are available for Pelicans. They actually have a lot of bodies, so just a little bit of something to keep in mind. But who's probably in play a little bit more than we talked about is Melly.
Oh my God.
Think about it. Like, he's going to have minutes. He can knock down threes.
Yeah.
Boy, this is a really weird slate. JJ Redick. And we have to find out about Redick, I guess, but that's what I'll do. That's what I'll do. Redick over Bruce Brown.
Well, forget what is it? What about Walker over Bruce Brown?
I already have Walker.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I think that Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I'll leave him out of one FanDuel lineup process probably, but I think that he's the man.
Well, you know who might be the man is.
I agree, man. I just it's hard to get him exactly. You know what I mean? That's just where I'm at. I'm having trouble getting him personally. Fox, Towns, Durant, Hart. Okay. I'll jump back into the chat, guys, and the questions a little bit. How do we feel? Like, is there a chance Buddy Hield's probable? I still like Buddy Hield on FanDuel a lot. And I think maybe I'm being a little too stubborn in trying to play him too much.
You like Buddy? I have Buddy Hield. Maybe you're stubborn. I don't know. I'll come over there.
Yeah. Play Cantor. It's no man's land. Actually, this is like the night you should play McCollum. Like, it makes sense. So this is where okay, so okay, let's think about this for a second with as far as it goes with our guy DeAndre, because so how much better of a play? If you had the money left and you play Brook Lopez over him, probably just from an ownership standpoint, you can. But it's so hard to imagine this guy's not getting there.
It's ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
How many minutes is he really going to play, though?
Who? DeAndre?
Yeah.
30 to 35.
Well, that's bad.
Yeah.
That's bad for him.
I mean,
It's bad for people who don't want to play him.
Yeah. Okay, maybe I'll do this. Maybe Roby is now more speculative than the other ones on DraftKings because you have so much other value. And we don't even know that he's starting yet. Let's see, unless we just got that information.
Right.
So all right, I'm going to throw one Brook Lopez lineup on FanDuel, and then I'm going to try and get DeAndre Graham. God, I'm telling you, the Josh Hart thing is going to be overlooked. What is that background? Yeah, you're right. It does make you sort of force Luka in a little bit.
What happened?
And the value is really making me want to force Luka in.
Oh, I thought you were saying something was going on with my feed there.
Oh no.
Yeah, I got guys I wouldn't think I would have. I have like a bunch of LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
Do it so easily.
It's just too easy to do. Yeah, I agree. I'm really going to hate myself for not playing enough Josh Hart, but it's hard to get to him. It's hard to get him in. If you want to play, maybe I don't need it. You know what? Skip Ingram. Ugh. Doesn't feel right. Okay, guys. In 3 minutes, I'll answer questions. I mean, honestly, the thing that's bothering me on FanDuel is that I can't use Josh Hart in my guard spot. I'm in DraftKings. I can't use Josh Hart in my guard spot, which is really annoying. 5,300. Wow. I would like to know about this Roby thing. I don't know if I need to. I'm not sure we need it anymore on DK.
Roby?
I mean, it's all right. It's just that there's other guys.
Right.
And we're speculating on just the same thing happening that happened last time, and I think that isn't necessarily accurate. So if I take him out, play Ingram, okay. I actually kind of like the idea of fading him over here. So play Ingram, Hart. You got an exactly minimum price guy at the guard spot on DraftKings for me sheets?
No.
There's no exact minimum, is there? There's the exact minimum of Chiozza.
That is correct.
A little thin.
I don't think it's that thin.
Maybe not.
Why is that thin? We played them the other day with Bill guys.
They didn't have Kevin Durant there, and Kevin Durant runs the floor runs like a point guard. Ingram.
I got a couple of these Boban lineups still. It's like annoying.
Bruce Brown, no. Melly.
What's Melly's price?
He's $3K.
At center?
If I could get him in my guard spot, I'd love him at forward.
I'm putting him in.
I actually think he makes a lot of sense.
I'm getting a little. I'm basically sitting in for Boban. What I'm doing is I got these Boban lineups, but all of them have Jordan in the utility. So I'm just going to slide Jordan up into there, and then I'm going to play the guy you just said.
Yeah.
Works that happens. He gets a 0, right?
Yeah, there you go.
What about the other guys? Favors out too? Oh no, he's on Utah. Sorry.
Yeah, he's not on the team. I was like, what? You stumped me there for a minute. I was like, I don't know. So I'm struggling with a big 2v2 decision. This is LeBron and Ingram, or Luka and LaMelo.
Ooh. Well, the less set is definitely the sexier one.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know how that helped you though.
He also torched this team the last time they played, which is actually making me like Luka. I think I'm going to do that. I think that's what I'm going to do. I have to say though, I'm happy that you have some LeBron. I didn't get to him on DraftKings, but I really like him. There's just a lot of good plays to get up to, and if you can play that Luka and get that part right, so you play Luka, LaMelo. Pretty dumb that all these guys. There's like 5 guys with only point guard positions, and they're all on the same team. It doesn't make any sense. Like, why don't we let's get the positions right, DraftKings? Come on, guys. Alexander Walker and
how about Wes Iwundu? How about Wes Iwundu starting at 3,200?
Wes Iwundu. I don't think there's any way you could play Wes Iwundu on this slate. Okay. We've seen this story for years with Orlando.
Well, I got something else for you. I got something else for you. So who do we like to play against Milwaukee? Centers or Wayne Ellington.
Okay, there's a way to get a little different. He can let anybody who's going to go out there, and if they make their shots, they're going to keep shooting and stay in the game. Absolutely, you're going to get my.
In the words of the immortal Bobby Fye, I put it in the dollar.
And Alexander Walker not even. Why would Alexander Walker not be necessary anymore, Drac? I'm just curious what you're thinking there, because I think now Alexander Walker is like the much better play. Unless I missed another piece of news that we just missed.
Excuse me. I want to thank the trolls for coming in, because we've just I got a congratulations for 100 messages today. See, everything's got a silver lining.
Nice. Hey, thanks, K9 Bronco. Appreciate the love. Roby or James Johnson, FanDuel GPP. I'm going with Roby, but I think he's the better play, but I think that James Johnson, of course, there's a range of outcomes where he could get going. I mean, we've seen James Johnson just smash at times in the past, but Roby looked really good. We need to know if he's starting. To be honest, if he's not starting, I don't have that much interest in him. But if he is starting, I have interest in him, especially on FanDuel more than DraftKings, because there's more value on DraftKings.
This lineup, I don't think I need. I don't think I need Davis and LeBron together tonight. That I don't think I need.
Melly versus Roby is actually a decision, and I think it is a decision.
Let's see,
I'm going to wait to find out, and then if you know what, I'll do this. We'll know about that game at 5 or 8 Eastern, and that's what I'm going to wait to do. I mean, if you think about it, just from a matchup standpoint and everything, and I mean, we think Melly is going to probably play, right? Like as many minutes as I think they're going to play similar minutes.
Similar to whom?
To Roby. And the matchup is, I mean, like any matchup that's not against the Lakers for a big man is obviously going to be the better matchup. The thing that's worrisome about Melly is like we haven't really seen him have like a ton of run in the past, and it hasn't had it happen once this year. But they still have Steven Adams there, so we don't even know that he'll start yet. So I think that the safer thing is probably to play Roby, and then if Roby's not starting, switch to Melly. That's probably a little bit safer. Okay. But I do sort of like the Melly thing. The one guy you can't. Yeah, hold on. Let's fix this a little bit. Durant. I got to make sure you guys are in the right spots, people. I almost just made a mistake and didn't have that.
What happened?
Durant. Oh. I almost didn't have my guys in the right spots where you could make a sub. Yeah, I don't know how it's so hard not to go. I'm going to see what we think Josh Hart's going to be owned on DraftKings, because I don't think he's going to like have more than like 15 or 20% ownership. And this is a spot where he could have like 50% ownership, and it would make sense to me. What do we have for his minutes? I'm at 35. I really like Hart. Just rebounds, man. Roby, and then we've got Melly. Tell you what, if you really want to get weird with it, you can play Roby and Melly together. It's really interesting.
So we don't know.
Yeah, so
or not.
The Melo is going to end up after all this being unowned, right?
You mean LaMelo?
LaMelo. Is that what I said? Sorry, what did I say?
Yeah, no, you did say that. You said Melo.
Yeah.
Because Carmelo's 4,200. I had him in a couple lineups.
I did at first too, but we just don't need it anymore. Okay. Giannis or Cat, they were the same price, I would say Giannis, but all things being considered, I think it might be Cat. From Matt. Thanks, Ken, for the love. Need assurance, Drac, and keep it real with loyal fans, right? What is that? Oh, thanks, man. Okay, so no, I'm telling you right now, I have all my lineups on DraftKings have Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Keep an eye out for who ends up starting and stuff like that later tonight. We really don't know. We don't know that Melly is going to start.
No. I got I have a full 20% LaMelo on DraftKings.
I've got a full 60.
And there you have it.
But again, I'm not playing that many lineups.
Right. All right. Anything else, guys?
I think we're pretty much there, guys. There's the last question answered.
Giannis or Cat? That's a very legitimate question, actually.
Yeah, I said I'd prefer Cat for the savings on DraftKings personally.
Yeah, and then someone says no interest in Trey Burke tonight in the starting lineup. All those guards. The problem is that being in the starting lineup is no bargain with Luka on the floor.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't want to get too all excited, but on DraftKings, I really don't have Hart getting that much ownership.
I don't think he's going to. I'm still wondering if I really want to do this. Like, there's a lot of plays on this slate, and it feels strange. I also, you know what? I'm gonna do it.
I have to remember to check this Nurkic stuff. By the way, if Nurkic is out, Kanter's a good play.
If Nurkic is out, Kanter's a good play. Yes. Kanter's an awesome play if Nurkic is out. Wonder where we have Hart on FanDuel versus what's his name? Gonna do this real quick. Hart versus Harris. Hart's the better play.
Utility, that's good.
You don't have to play on FanDuel anymore. Well, you're gonna want to probably, but you don't have to play KD as much.
You know.
Yeah, maybe you do. Well, I just think like you could do some interesting. There's some interesting other builds you can go through on if you wanted to play like Cat, for example. Play Harris. I mean, like,
all right, guys.
Maybe you could score 30 real life points, by the way, and not get there. So just keep
Brown
that
or
in mind.
Chiozza? I think Brown's a better play.
Brown, yeah, I would agree.
All right, guys. Good luck, and go get them. We'll sweat later.
Yeah, good luck, everybody.